Well, welcome back to part 16 of my huge Earth map Deity playthrough as the Celts. In the last episode, we'd captured London and Amsterdam, and it looks like the Dutch are about to recapture Amsterdam, so we will need to move the privateer out of the city. Now, something that does happen, if I know one of these AI civs is friends with England, sometimes they'll pay me for Amsterdam, and then they'll return Amsterdam to, well, if someone's friends with the Netherlands in this example, they'll return Amsterdam to the Netherlands, and then I can rinse and repeat and get a whole bunch of money out of a mutual friend. Jacob is saying, don't sell Amsterdam. Yeah, it's definitely a risky move, and this, despite the fact that the city has no luxuries, it will be a good city for science, because there's all that, these high food tiles, namely the two polders, and then some good money as well from the customs house. Well, I do want to check, let's see. So Amsterdam is friends with England, Spain, Byzantium, Carthage, Polynesia, Greece, the Ottomans, Morocco, Arabia, and Assyria. Am I also friends with any of those leaders? And also, where am I on the score chart right now? I'm only friends with Austria at the moment, apparently. I wonder if Sweden will renew a declaration of friendship. No, we're currently guarded.
Yes.
We might need to end our warmongering day soon. We need to get our science up, and we need to get our great scientist generation up. So, since we lost Dublin, we lost a lot of population there. I would like to capture York, and we are starting to knock down. Well, actually, Elizabeth is starting to regenerate her land army relative to where it was a couple turns ago. I would like York. York has a few great wonders as well. The Great Lighthouse, and what else do we see? Temple of Artemis. Probably all four of the wonders, because I don't think Elizabeth has any other major cities. Negotiate peace.
You were saying?
Yeah, she only has Canterbury, which was built over in Greenland, and I don't imagine she'd be able to build any wonders there. So she built all four of her wonders in York, and I would like to take York. But after that, we'll settle down. We'll build out. Let's see. We definitely want to build back all of our cargo ships. We want to get up universities eventually in all of our cities, but definitely in all the cities that have good population. And luckily, we still have universities in both London and Amsterdam. Oh, actually, we don't have a university in Amsterdam. That's really bad. We're going to have to, once this comes out of resistance, we'll have to take the unhappiness hit and get a university going there. And hopefully the university doesn't fall when we lose Amsterdam. So perhaps we should make... Okay, we can't negotiate peace here. And that's because we got one of the other civs to pay us to go to war with Amsterdam. So we're going to have to be at war for another 9 turns. Let's see if we can take down this musketman with our entire fleet that's sitting here. Means this guy will move back since he's got range. Right, so the entire fleet wasn't needed, but didn't hurt. Now, if the AI is smart enough to do a swap, then we will lose Amsterdam, so I will have to remember to move that privateer out. I'll also want to deal damage to this rifleman. I think London is safe, so we could move this frigate into London. Move it over here. And no, the forest is in the way. If London was on a hill, then even though it doesn't necessarily make sense to me and how a ship sailing into a city on a hill would give it the sight range of a hill, we'd be able to shoot that musketman, but at the moment we can't. So let's see, where can we go with this guy? Do we want to heal there? We want to pull away elsewhere where we can heal. And we'll sail in here. Letters like that. And as for this privateer, what's the fastest way over to potentially capturing this ship of the line? We'll move over to here. And with this missionary, how many conversion points followers will I get? Only 3. So that's not really worth it. What about at Amsterdam? Would I be able to do more good at Amsterdam or perhaps at York? No, neither of those will be very helpful. Alright, we'll spend at least one of our religious spreads at London. 6-3, and we are tied on pressure. So we might lose our hold on the United Kingdom here in terms of Tengrism. And we do have the privateer in Dublin, which we purchased last turn. So we might not have to do all this massive relocation. Let's see, we'll take a quick peek at what else is in the Irish Sea here. No fleet from Elizabeth, so that's good. And we'll go back to hiding in Dublin. And we are unhappy here. And what is the reason for this? Is this ideological pressure that we're facing? Ooh, and uprisings may occur. So, it's a good thing that we have this missionary. And we should probably place him... Where are we likely to have a barbarian uprising? I'm not sure, but we're going to have to be careful with the positioning of our civilian units. And this is probably ideology related. Or not. Why are we so unhappy right now? I don't... Was it when we took Amsterdam? Alright, well anyways. Still waking up, but this will be a better run than last time. We'll try not to lose any more privateers needlessly. Oh, actually, that was bad. We put ourselves within range of this city strike for no reason, other than the fact that I forgot that we were at war and I could just pass through their borders as they swung around. Alright, so please forgive me. Here we'll just go and bombard that guy. Choose production. Over in Dublin, we are going to want and need, for future science, a lighthouse, but we'll get the Colosseum going. And Massive Effects is saying that we lost that unhappiness when we removed Catholicism from London. let's swing back here. What are the tenets of Catholicism? Religious fervor, profits are stronger, faith to purchase industrial units. No, that's the founder belief. Peace gardens, I guess, is what did it for us. So we lost the happiness we were gaining off of these gardens. Alright, so that's definitely something to consider when you're playing around with religions, and that's why we lost the 2 happiness there, and it gives us the potential to be spawning barbarians. And Matter Zero is correct, you can't lose happiness from ideology if you don't have a conflicting ideology yourself. And just to be safe, we'll put the Admiral underneath a military vessel. Alright, and let's see if the Netherlands refuse there. We'll swap out their crossbows and allow a Malay unit to retake Amsterdam. Oh no. We don't have any friends left. Austria was our last civ that we had a declaration of friendship with, and they have now denounced us. So, it's going to be hard. Yaks Esh. Yaks! Alright, mornings and speaking don't always work. Yash X Gaming asks what mods I'm using. We're using the Yet Not Another Earth Map mod and related mods that allow us to play with every civ in the game and on this massive shoe start location map. And we're using the extra luxuries and extra pantheons mod. That's more for flavor. And we're also using a mod that lets us build out the unique units from captured cities but they cost an extra 15% to produce. So if we wanted, if we did convert London, and it wasn't in resistance, we could build Ship of the Lines out of London. To get the full list and all the links to the mods, you can check the first episode of this series on my YouTube channel. Squints a lot. Yep, we have been expanding a lot with the Celts, but I wasn't as careful with diplomacy as I should have been, and now most of the world hates us. We don't have any friends left, which means I won't be able to sell any of my excess items for lump sum gold, which would have been a good backup. At least our gold per turn is positive again, and some of that is because we got those trade routes up and running again. Alright, so this turn there are 2 units who could potentially capture, but we do have enough frigates to take care of them, especially since they're standing on swamps. And England has retreated from trying to take London back, which is good. Now, my units with naval promotion should head over this way before England kicks out too many more Ship of the Lines. Or at least head over in this direction, dealing damage as we go. This guy can take a promotion, but he probably needs to go somewhere out of the line of fire. Let's see, what can we do here? And for safety reasons, do I not want to destroy this crossbowman? No, I think from what I can see, we are safe to destroy that. Alright, destroyed. And this privateer will just wait here to heal. Alright, and we can finally meet the Shoshone here. Let's swing around. Oh, that was a little cul-de-sac. A dead end surrounded by mountain ranges. Let's go and swap embassies. And I do want to check what my textile time on the spy that I sent to Washington is. Uh-oh. Okay, so the game is starting to get a little unresponsive. We had a slight Windows freeze screen on my end there. Hopefully, we won't have too many more of those problems. Okay, we've got a textile in 13 turns, which is quite reasonable. Washington's got 25 citizens. He's got his university. He's not working those slots. Doesn't have public schools yet, but maybe in the next 13 turns he will. We are trying to get over 2 public schools as soon as possible, but that's going to be 23 turns. We might be able to steal industrialization. Let's see, it depends on what Washington gets in the next 13 turns. Looking back on tech again, we're still 8 techs behind the tech leader, but I am going to try my luck at stealing a tech from Washington. We should be able to get something reasonable, hopefully scientific theory or industrialization, but if necessary, gunpowder or archaeology wouldn't be bad. A European invasion is going to be very, very difficult, especially going by land. But we will need to be maintaining our naval fleet, since one of our neighbors is going to declare war on us soon. Which neighbor? I don't know. But it's definitely going to happen. Alright, now this guy will need to take a break to heal up because of our foolishness. Let's park over here for now. The privateer can keep hanging out in Dublin until we've got more reinforcements. And where can I go with this ship of the line? How much movement do I have left on this frigate? Full movement plus range. Well, we can take out another Malay here. So that's one less to worry about. And the ship of the line. Let's go to London to heal then, and also deal damage as necessary. Alright, the missionary is going to hang around just in case we go to 10 unhappiness and need to convert some rebels. Fortify there. And the cargo ship. Once we pacify the English, we'll want to run some internal cargo ships, since we're not getting good science yields off of these guys anymore. And try to grow Edinburgh as much as possible. I also, well, I've got some money. I might want to buy a workshop here. I also need to get the aqueduct online. Alright, let's go for an aqueduct. There are so many other things that we need to build in Edinburgh right now. And I'm assuming we're going to be happy soon, in which case I do want the aqueduct, but if I'm not going to be happy for a while, we'll have to build something else out. But so long as we can maintain peace, getting that cargo ship online is going to be more important than most anything else. Since the income from our naval trade routes is going to be significant, and we can use that gold to rush buy the buildings we need in London and in Dublin if we can get our happiness online.
Treffen wir.
Massive Effects asks if there's a denouncing spiral. There's certainly something like that. Once you have a bunch of civs that dislike you, all of their friends will side with them. They'll try to bribe their other friends into denouncing you as well. So it's going to be really hard to turn world opinion around. I think the North Americans still are neutral to me, but Europe, Asia, the Middle East, they're all hostile. And to be fair, we have been capturing a number of cities, including 2 large capitals, so that'll definitely count in a negative in terms of civs that look unkindly upon war wanderers. Okay, how many frigates can I bring to bear to deal with these ship of the lines? Most of them are out of range right now. Let's see, this guy can move over to, say, here. Oh, the ship of the line now has range, that's excellent. Let's move over to here. No threats yet. We'll deal damage first, get the first shot off. No one else is in range though, unfortunately. Now, it looks like our army of frigates is going to be enough to hold Amsterdam. Let's grab range on this guy. Swing over to here. That would be fun, Jacob 23, to go really unhappy and then use heathen conversion to take over Europe. That would definitely hurt our science game, but it would be a lot of fun. The thing is that with this huge map and 43 civs, doing a military victory is not going to be possible. So I really need to up my science per turn and great scientist production. And with this guy, do we want to heal another turn? Swing over to here. Deal damage to that trebuchet. And these guys keep on targeting the relay units. Alright, let's sail around to here and get ready to start capturing those ship of the lines. And Reykjavik needs a new build item. We have almost no production here. If I were to work this hill, that's fine. Okay, so that cuts some of this down. Let's get a workshop going. That's going to take a long time. But we're going to need more production here eventually. And Mass Effects is correct. We should spare a ship to take a look at what Elizabeth City in Iceland or Greenland is. I don't expect it to be very strong. This is literally all snow. I think the only thing she's got going for her there is a fish or two. Alright, London has converted to Catholicism, which does stop us from going into full unhappiness here and have those rebels spawn. We're going to want missionaries in all of our cities so that we can convert any barbarians or rebels that do spawn. An unmet civilization has adopted order. The Zulu have already adopted autocracy. And we're not going to get over to the 3 factories or the right tech era to get an ideology for quite a while now. Although it does mean that if we really wanted to be sure to steal industrialization, we could send our spy over to the Zulu. Alright, so Elizabeth has retreated her injured ship of the line. We've got a ship of the line that we can target here. These 2 frigates plus the privateer will be able to take that, and it doesn't look like she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 an army of longbows here that would endanger our privateer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we're not going to get enough ships in range to deal that damage. We'll have to spread this out over another few turns then. Into Hastings, or we'll heal up. Now, that is counting for a decisive victory. We can try it. No capture, alas. Looks like it's going to be back in the water or pay the Shoshone for open borders. Let's just go south along the coast, and we've already met the Aztecs, so we'll have to sail over to South America, Central, see if we can meet the Inca, and then we've got Brazil, who we still need to meet as well. Okay, these guys can sail over into range to start knocking on York and the ship of the line's there. The forest in the way does make this a little trickier. I wonder if we could attack from here. The 2 hills look like they're in the way. Alright, well, let's start curving around anyways. And then over in the Netherlands. Let's have this guy heal up since he doesn't have any other targets. We'll move the guy who is uninjured, take care of that. Looks like we've cleared out most of William's army, and we actually need this guy to go and deal some damage to this musket. So, I'll guard this. And Austria has Nottingham. Okay. Perhaps the ship of the line. I want to make sure that musketman dies. Russia and Germany are now at war. That's interesting. Germany is really not doing very well here. Alright, next turn then. And Massive Effects points out that we can grow Edinburgh, it just needs the tiniest bit more food. And yes, let's definitely do that next turn then. Alright, so that looks like all of William's army dealt with. It'd be fine if we were playing with a mod that let us capture great people, but unfortunately that great engineer is just going to have to sit there. William is trying to send down a trebuchet to attack Edinburgh by the looks of it. I'll definitely go and check that out, send over some of the fleet here to make sure he doesn't have more units to back that up. And he does not. Okay, which of these units has range? This guy does. I can swap him in with this frigate. And deal damage. Okay, the hills and the forests block us there. We'll just have to go all the way around. In fact, there's almost no spot where we can deal damage to York. That's interesting. Alright, let's test if we can take a shot at York from here. It doesn't look like we should be able to, and we can't. We can shoot this tile, which I guess is better than nothing. So taking York with frigates is going to be difficult. With the hills in the way, this is actually very well protected from frigates. We'll have to just continually swap units out from these two tiles. Yeah, there's no other angle that we could attack from. And that also means that our pikemen might have an important role to play in capturing York here. So he'll move in once we're all set up to do that. And that means that these frigates don't really have anything to do here. We'll leave a couple around Amsterdam. That force is probably fine where it is. And in Edinburgh, do we want to grow here? Go and reset tiles for maximum growth. Still stagnant. If I manually assign lockdown every tile that gives me food, will I be able to grow in one turn? If yes, then I definitely will go and do that. 7 turns. Take the sheep. 5 turns. 5 turns. Oh wait, so we'll have to go manual specialist control here. Do I have anything else that'll get me food? Sadly, no. Definitely want to lock this down. Okay, let's work the university slots. And reset here. Definitely want to be working the science. We've got a production penalty as well. But the food penalty is worse, so I think we'll just worry about stagnating for now. These tiles seem reasonable. Go to default focus. It doesn't ask us to switch over to anything else. Let's actually prioritize some of these faith tiles as well. Okay, that will be fine. And we will want to start firing on York. Let's see, how much damage do we do here? 11. We'll want to bring the Great Admiral around to help with this. Privateer can wait here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although it's the Spearman who's probably going to do the work for the actual capture. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's out of range. Alright, we'll just wait here and heal. This guy can pull around to here. And Massive Effects makes a good point that we could use the port change ability to get our Great Admiral over to Dublin, and that would be faster than moving him through all this territory. Meanwhile, our ship's the line here. Can't actually get a shot off on this longbowman. Let's see what we can do. If we were to annex the city here, it's still under resistance, but we could start reducing longbowmen. That's also a good suggestion from the chat. Alright, over to the next turn. We do need to get our happiness in order. We also want to conquer York. But doing so with frigates is going to be difficult, especially if a longbowman, a city bombard, a ship of the line, and a trebuchet can kill whatever appears there. Now, is York on a hill as well? It is, so it can see over this forest and deal damage to us. The trebuchet can. York is a coastal fortress. Sure, we can make peace with Poland. I'm not getting anything out of that. Alright, so before we suicide another ship into here, we'll want to make sure this longbowman is dead. Amsterdam was bombarded by a crossbowman. Should be able to deal with that guy soon. And if we had a random land unit to embark, we could drop him in here and pillage this trade route. That would be nice. Alright, we're not going to be using this pikeman anytime soon. connection has been established to Edinburgh with London. I guess the blockade ended. Alright, so what do we want to do here? We can kill off this crossbow. We'll move the missionary into London. And then we'll embark this guy to pillage this trade route. Unfortunately, London's on flat land, and these forests block our line of sight to... maybe the hill would be fine. That's a good point, Massive Effects. Let's see. Which of these guys has range? We'll go and swap them out and test that next turn. As for the ship of the line, these guys can sail up here. And at least gain some experience by firing down on this city. Now, highest gold, we could start trading with Morocco. And we do get a little more science that way. Alright, a trade route with Marrakesh. And we'll just hope that Spain and Portugal don't decide to go to war with us. Meanwhile, who else has range? Just this guy. He is within range of the longbowman. So unless the ship of the line moves out of Edinburgh, we should be safe to exchange fire here. Five there. Now, how many turns is it going to take me to get over here? Alright, so perhaps a port change might be the better way to go, but we're already halfway there. And we can gain some experience by shooting that settler. And we have no one to fire on here. Alright, let's see if this puts us... Do I want to risk losing this frigate as well? No, not really. Alright, we'll just wait there then. We'll move these guys in. Provide a distraction in case Elizabeth sends out some units for us, which doesn't seem plausible. And we will use this worker to maybe scout Greenland. And maybe we can go and meet. We don't need all of these frigates right now. We can use one of them for exploration. Alright, the cargo ship is done. What's really important here? If we want more gold, we could go and build that mint. That's going to be 4 turns. Getting our production up overall is also fairly important. We could buy the workshop. We probably should, now that we have a healthy gold per turn income. The Grand Temple would have been nice if we wanted to pump out more missionaries. National Epic is going to be really important. A bank would be quite useful for us as well. Alright, let's start work on the mint. We'll buy the workshop. We'll get our gold per turn up. We are working both the gold and the silver, so that's going to be applicable. And then we'll start worrying about population happiness, and then great people generation. And one of our cities is starving, or was briefly starving, as the fish that Edinburgh is using was briefly blockaded. Well, Elizabeth, maybe she wants to drop a citadel, or maybe she thinks she's ready for an all-out attack on London. But whatever her reasoning, she sent a trebuchet and a great general here. That actually wasn't a completely insane move. since I've embarked my pikemen, I won't be able to squish that general. Yeah, both of our... wait, fishing boats? Yeah, we had fishing boats on both of these fishing tiles at one point, but it seems that they have been pillaged. Or at least I was thinking of putting fishing boats there. I don't remember if that actually ended up happening. Alright, so there are two potential caravans that we could pillage if we did go and land our pikemen. But the much closer one that was going through this tile to Paris seems to be gone. And Massive Effects does suggest relocating some great works. That's definitely good advice. I don't see anything in London that could potentially capture, or in York that could potentially capture London, but that is still a good plan. It would also ensure that we were getting our culture off of it, since we don't actually get the culture tourism yields while the city is in resistance. Let's see, where are our great works right now? We don't have space for the great work of music in any of our other cities. We should try to get over to the Cayley Hall over in Edinburgh, and not just for rehosting the work of music, but for the happiness as well. Our copper deal to Isabella has ended, so we're getting close to happiness again. This guy wants range, and he's going to sail over to here, I suppose. And so the frigate within London with range unfortunately cannot hit the hill that the longbowman is on because the forests are in the way. So we'll get him out of there. Destroy the trebuchet. And I think I do want to pillage these routes rather than take the Great General. That might be a citadel that's about to be dropped. And we could leave one frigate to protect Amsterdam. Looks like most of William's troops are gone. Swing up here. Maybe have a quick look at what else is going on over here. Nothing too scary. We'll loop around and maybe send this frigate to explore the other English city. And pop back into the water. No one to shoot here. Let's swap out this guy, let him heal since we've got more units than can actually shoot at York right now. Drop over here. Deal damage to that longbowman. And swing around. Drop this privateer here to protect the admiral. And scouting with a worker isn't actually necessary since we do have the frigates to spare. So this guy's going to sail over to South America. This is there. Meanwhile, this frigate... I guess this frigate can go and have a look at Elizabeth City in Greenland. So Elizabeth was not planning to drop a citadel. She retreated that great general once her trebuchet was lost. So now with the trebuchet gone, the longbowmen almost down. We just met the Iroquois. Let's see. Do I have any excess luxuries? I do not. Neither does Hiawatha. We can swap embassies without any trouble. But I can start moving on York again, and I shouldn't lose my frigates in a single turn. Now, somewhat less important than becoming happy again and upping our population, building out those public schools, is I would like to build the East India Company and get more, make our capital more attractive to other civs to send their trade routes to. At the moment, we're trading with Denmark and Portugal. We can accept the embassy there. But hopefully we'll be able to take care of York in the next episode and then go into full peacetime mode. The other civs want to establish embassies again after their denouncements, so that's a good sign. Open borders with Sweden has ended. That's fine. Vancouver no longer needs our help. Russia and France have made peace. France is actually doing pretty well. They've captured Venice and Antioch. The French Empire is expanding here. That's very interesting. Alright, so Colosseum done. Only at 3 unhappiness now. Let's get the lighthouse back online. Purchasing the lighthouse might be good if we weren't unhappy. Alright, let's go to work on... I do have the gold. I could rush by the aqueduct and work on the lighthouse, and perhaps by the time the lighthouse is done, we'll be happy and not have the food deficit. How are we doing in Edinburgh? Do I want to rush by anything here? We'll stagnate while we are unhappy. Is there something I'd rather build out? Let's build out the harbor. Or perhaps purchase the harbor. That's not going to pay for itself for quite a while. We could slowly work on Circus Maximus. Alright, let's just slowly build out the lighthouse, and then we'll worry about perhaps buying aqueducts for Dublin once we're happy again. We just met the Inca. Let's swap embassies with them. And what's our diplomacy status at? We both announced Germany. We're friends with Spain, Carthage, Polynesia, America, Portugal, and Quebec City. Currently neutral with us, which is fine. And I don't think we have open borders with France, so we're going to have to wait here for that caravan to come through. And we'll take down the longbowman here, and let's send in some of our less promoted frigates to see just how much damage we'll take by wandering in here. Kill that guy off, and let's see. Who would I not be disappointed in losing? Alright, well, we can send this one unit in and deal some damage to York. Fortify, sleep, and got +1 range here as well. Being in London doesn't get us anything. We can sail all the way around to here. Let's do that. And this guy can wait here. Into Hastings to heal. That's a good point there, Cameron 000. If we chopped down this forest, we would have a better advantage at taking down York, and Elizabeth is out of units that could potentially capture that worker. So at the very least, the worker would be distracting her from firing on my frigate. So that's 3 turns to get over here, versus the worker over here is many more turns than that. Or just 4 turns. Okay, so we'll send this worker over, and we'll have this worker getting ready just in case the first worker is killed or captured. And if people want to gain some experience, we could start firing on this city here. It doesn't look like we're in any danger, so little damage there. Heal. And we'll head over this way. Ooh, and we found ourselves an English cargo ship to plunder. That's going to be good. Now let's see, what direction is he going to move off to? Over this way. We should be able to chase him down. Alright, so we can keep swapping these frigates out. They can't be one-shot anymore now that the Longbow and Trebuchet are gone. So we're going to capture York eventually. And I really do wonder where this great general is wandering off to. Open borders, we can sell that for 2 gold per turn. So as we leave off on this episode, our deficit has recovered. We're now at plus 77 gold per turn. We're getting close to being happy again. How oversupply are we? When we capture York, we should fix our oversupply problem as well. And then we're going to switch over to peacetime. Maybe we'll maintain an enemy or 2 and try to hunt down their trade routes and pillage them for money. But we're going to want to get over to public schools as quickly as possible. We do have a spy steal coming in probably 9 or 8 turns now. But just in case Washington doesn't have public schools, we're going to hard research the tech as well. And we are re-establishing embassies with all these civs that denounced us. So things are starting to get a little more manageable. Let's see, the Ottomans have adopted autocracy. When it comes time to choose our ideology, we'll have to see who has the most ideological pressure on us, and that'll be a big factor in which way we go. Unless I want to completely embrace the whole heathen conversion, go really unhappy and just convert a lot of rebels. That's an option too. I don't think I've grabbed the rationalism opener yet, so it doesn't hurt that we are unhappy or that we will be unhappy. Let's quickly check that. India has achieved influential with another player. Is that other player ourselves? Let's see. Influenced by player India. The Celts, they're popular with us. They are probably influential with Persia. Okay, that wasn't what I was guessing. I was going to say Poland. They're almost there for Poland too. And we have enough faith to make a faith purchase. Let's purchase a missionary over in Dublin. So that'll be someone covering this island. I would have purchased him in Edinburgh, but since we have this great scientist here, I could embark the scientist. That would be fine too. Alright, we'll purchase a missionary in Edinburgh next. How much oversupply are we? Let's see. We'll go for the military tab. Supply remaining 10 in use. Are we still oversupply? The mouse over is not giving me anything. Production output, combat penalty. We might not be oversupply anymore. Since we do have Amsterdam, let's check. If I were to produce, say, this longsword. Yeah, we only have a negative modifier for unhappiness now. And I guess this exclamation point I was used. For a while we were oversupply, and that's what that exclamation point was indicating. Now I guess it's just the exclamation point for unhappiness, which might be something from the enhanced user interface or a change that was made recently. Or not recently, but since I was playing Civ on a more regular basis. Alright, so the mint is done. We want happiness. We want food. We can quickly go and grab the watermill. That would get us a little food, a little production. I don't have anything that's going to generate happiness for me. Except for Circus Maximus. Alright, let's go Circus Maximus. And we do want to remember to chase down that English cargo ship, thanks Massive Effects. And then perhaps a zoo. And then definitely a national epic at some point. We can reorder that later. But first, let's chase down this English cargo ship. Plunder the route. 200 gold there. Very nice. And we do want to meet Japan, Indonesia. We've already met China and Korea. Wait here. This guy should be coming through soon. Fortify there for now, and keep on dealing damage. This guy needs to swap out. Go heal up in Dublin. And wow, I can't even hit York from here. Alright, well, this guy can stroll into here. sail around this way. We've got 3 ships with range now, so attacking some other cities could be a lot easier. York in particular, though, is hard to attack by sea. Alright, so this is the end of today's episode. We'll just roll the turnover, and then I hope to see you tomorrow or in part 17.